All right, here we are. So I've actually been meaning to do this episode for a while, and we're here. So strap in. I'm about to hopefully either wake you up, give you something to start working towards. Maybe this will be the message that you needed without even knowing it, because this is the message that I have needed for a long time, and I am just seeing it now more than I have ever seen it before. This episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to yell the way that I normally do. And it's not that I'm not passionate about this. It's just that I'm passionate about this enough to give it the attention and the space that it needs to breathe. I'm going to be talking to you about who you are today. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to ask you to do some deep work. And by the end of this episode, I hope that you understand yourself a little bit more than you did yesterday. Because that really matters. That matters more than you know. A lot of the childhood trauma, a lot of the trauma that you experienced when you were in the military, a lot of what happened to you after the military has turned you into this person that you believe you have to be because of the situations, the circumstances, the environment, whatever kind of position you found yourself in. All of it was formative. All of it turned you into the person that you are today. And I think that there's a lot of power in that. So when you own where you're at, I believe that that is the most freeing thing that you can do for yourself, because now that means that tomorrow, in 1 week, in 1 month, you can be in a completely different place. Take ownership over where you are at. Acknowledge the mistakes that you've made and make different mistakes in the future. Make different mistakes in the future because you operate differently, because you realize that the mistakes you made in the past are much more aligned with someone that used to be you, who is not that person anymore. The cheating, the drinking, being an asshole, not doing the work, avoiding the VA, hating society, being felt as if you were labeled as special, and then not understanding why you were not given that treatment when you left the military, as if you were God's gift to earth. And I say this with love because I did and felt all these things myself. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself for the first time ever, maybe. And acknowledge your shortcomings, the things that you want to change, the things that you have to work on. Be honest with yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody will reveal the answers to you. Nobody will tell you you're making a mistake. And even if they do, you won't hear it. You won't be able to, because you're stuck in this cycle of repeating the trauma over and over and over again, because it has become your badge of honor. It's as if you enjoy and you invite misery and suffering because you perpetuate the same thing over and over again that is causing this for you, whether it's getting into bad relationships, whether it's the drinking all the time, whether it's the neglecting your body and your mind, whether it's the bad friendships, whatever it is, you keep diving into it, not doing the work, not doing the healing, not actually looking at yourself and asking yourself, is this the person that I want to be? Because do you know who you are? Now, the mistakes that you'll make in the future will be different once you understand that all the mistakes that you made in the past do not have to come with you into the future. And those mistakes are going to be different. And they might hurt you differently. But the thing is, you will be ready for them because you no longer look at the world as if it is out to get you. Opportunity versus overwhelm, in my opinion, just comes with how prepared are you for the discomfort. Is it either excitement for this challenge, or is it anxiety for this roadblock? I don't think that we suffer from a motivation problem. I don't think that we suffer with a discipline problem. I think that we don't have a strong enough reason why. Devotion. Devotion is a word that has been echoing in my brain for the last 3 years. And I love words because they mean something. Language matters. If you use dark humor to mask something, you are just giving yourself permission to ignore it. If you keep talking bad about someone, it's because you don't want to be looked at in that way. So you attack someone that is lesser than you. You bully. If you tell yourself something about yourself, it's true either way, whether positive or negative. And I really want you guys to understand this. If you keep telling yourself that you're a failure, that you can't sleep right, that the world is out to get you, guess what? You are a failure. You cannot sleep right, and the world is out to get you in your mind. But is it really? What facts do you have that support this? Is it the fact that you keep having negative people in your life? Well, who are you inviting into your life? Who are you attracting? Who are you? Ask yourself this and then really sit in it. Be uncomfortable. Be willing to let it hurt a little bit. It should hurt. Sometimes the pain that you feel can fire you up to get moving, to get out of that pot, to get out of the fire. But eventually, it does and has to transition to a place of love for yourself. And real love, not just saying it, not just pretending, not just talking about it, but actually doing it. Give yourself love. Give yourself permission to feel. Give yourself permission to be free. Give yourself permission to dance in the rain, to sing to the song, to find a new love, to raise your children the right way, to let go of the trauma, to no longer be bonded to the idea that you have to be a type of veteran. Be whoever the hell you want to be. And I really mean that. I have never been happier in my entire life. I've never been happier. And I also know that there are a lot of trials and tribulations ahead of me, but the thing is, I welcome them. Because it's not that life gets easier, we just become more equipped to handle it when we actually put forth the effort. Otherwise, we just perpetuate the cycle, and guess what? We pass our trauma to our children the same way that we got trauma from our parents, unbeknownst to them. And not because they wanted to, but because it's just what happens in life. It's just what happens. They did what they could with what they had at the moment. You have more information. You have more resources. You have different opportunities. You need to do what you can with what you have right now at the moment. But the moment that you become self-aware that there's more out there, the moment that you wake up and you look into that other room and you realize, holy shit, it's beautiful in here. And you see what's possible. You see the life that is ahead of you. If you just open that door and walk through it, and you see colors for the first time, and you see beauty for the first time, and you actually love yourself. If you just open that door and walk through it. Because once you know what's on that other side of that door, why would you ever want to go back into that darkness, that chaos, that evil, that hate, that anger? Why? Why would you? You wouldn't. Now, you might want to pretend that you do, that you thrive in chaos, that you are a warrior, that you are the alpha male, that you are God's gift to the military. But we all know it's a lie. And it doesn't make you any less of a man to admit that. It makes you more of a man. Because we're all chasing this feeling of gratification and validation. But do you give yourself validation? Do you love who you are? Do you actually do the right things? Are you actually trying to be better? Are you actively making decisions that affect your future instead of actively making decisions that put you in a bad place right now? Because if you're self-aware and you pay attention to this, and this resonates with you, and you just go back to the same mundane life and you make the same mediocre decisions and you live the same mediocre life and you allow that victim mindset to be the thing that drives you forward when in reality, it should be the thing that makes you run away from it faster than you ever have, then nothing will change. And this will just be noise and you'll feel motivated for today. But then tomorrow we go back to the same thing, the same routine, the same life. And we settle. We settle into it because society, because the military, because our jobs, because our family has told us that this is just the way it is. Who the fuck said that? God damn it. Maybe I am going to yell a little bit. Who told you that life had to be this way? Who? Everybody else that did not get the life that they wanted? The media? The government? Who told you that life has to be this way? It doesn't. You got out, you did something amazing for your country, and I appreciate you and I love you for that. But I am much more concerned with what you are doing today and what you are going to do tomorrow than what you did in this military. And it's the truth. It's the truth. If the epitome of the warrior is being in the military and you get out, does that mean that you are no longer a warrior? No. It means you have to learn to shed that armor, to come home in peace, to find your peace, to be you, to be a good father, be a good human, be a good partner, whatever it is, and find a different type of armor. One that is built with emotional intelligence. One that is built with real kindness and actual openness for the world. One that doesn't draw this fucking line in the sand as if it is you versus veterans, or you versus civilians, or you versus the VA, or you versus the government, or you versus whoever. There's no line. It's made up. It's imaginary. And you're the one that put it there. It's not impossible out here. It's just hard. Because nobody told you it was going to be this way. Nobody told you that you're going to get out of the military and realize that your rank doesn't mean shit. That what you did in the military, nobody understands. And it's also not their responsibility to understand. It's not their responsibility to make you feel welcome. It's not. It's you. It is you. And nobody told you that you were going to get out of the military and feel like you have left the best years behind you. And that is true if you want it to be. Because if you want it to be, you will sell yourself any lie in the book. You will believe everything that people tell you. You will tell it to yourself over and over again. And yes, you will believe it, that the military was the best thing you ever did. And if you could go back, you would go back right now. And you'll believe it. And then one day, maybe, you will look back and you will realize how much of your life you have wasted believing this. Because it's not true. You have a lot more left to do. You have a lot more left to do. More life to live, more smiles to have, more joy to share, more. So if you don't know who you are right now and you left the military, more than likely you're going through it right now. Maybe it's been a while, and that's okay. It took me a long time to get to where I'm at. This took a journey for me to get to where I'm at. But the thing is, the same way that once you're self-aware and you realize that there is better, that you can do better, and you look inside that room and you don't take that step forward, it's on you. People are no longer doing this to you. Once you realize what's possible for you, why would you ever slow down? Why would you ever want to go back? There is more out there. The grass is greener where you water it. The grass is greener where you water it. So choose where you want to be and be present. You do not have to sit facing the door every time that you go to a restaurant. You don't have to get uncomfortable around crowds. You don't have to think of everyone as a threat. You don't have to be an asshole to people. You don't have to only hang around with veterans. You can be whatever you want to be. Let your fucking hair down. You're breathing. You have blood pumping through your heart right now. Maybe you're a father. Maybe you're a mother. Understand that if you don't do the work and heal your shit, you're going to pass it down to your kids. Be the generational change. Be the generational change that breaks the freaking cycle and no longer passes that shit to your kids. Because it's not just from the military. It's from the way you were raised. Maybe you had immigrant parents. Maybe you grew up in a bad neighborhood. Maybe you were running from something. Just because you joined the military does not erase those things. They got to be dealt with too. But when you realize that it is yours to deal with, and you become self-aware, and you see the brightness and the beauty in the other room that you just need to walk into, if you don't take that step forward, if you don't blaze your own trail, you will realize that you will lose integrity by the day. because now you know better. Now you are aware. You cannot go back. And distractions are all around us. The world wants us to focus on the bad. The world wants you to think that you are a victim. They want you to be against somebody else because then you have a purpose of hating somebody, of being angry about something. It's the woman in the red dress. It's a distraction. It keeps you stuck. Whether it's your drinking, whether it's the way that you are addicted to porn, whether it's the way that you don't want to make friends with people, whether it's the fact that you think you deserve a little bit more than you have. Newsflash, if you don't have it, you haven't earned it. If you have it, you have earned it. Whatever it is that you know is holding you back, give yourself permission to forgive yourself and let go of it. Heal from it by doing the work. I am more comfortable and I have never felt safer in my body and in my mind than now. I am I am much more open to sharing what I think and what I believe because not only is it working for me, but it's working for the people that I help. It's working for the people that listen, my clients. It's working for the people in my life. I just had a dinner with my parents where I had a chance to share with them things that I needed to share, not for permission, not for validation, not for forgiveness, but because I want to share, because I have that space to hold for them, to let them know that I want them to feel free of me. They saw me in the worst of the worst. They saw me not being a present father. They saw me going through a divorce, the depression. They saw all of it. So I'm sure they have felt responsible to try and be there and save me. I got to save myself. And mom and dad, if you're listening to this, I love you guys. And I know that you listen. And I love you guys. As I was saying, I've never felt more clear in who I am and what I'm doing and the life that I'm trying to build for myself and for my kids because I know what's possible. And I cannot ignore it. I'm not going back. I can't. And I won't. Because the same way that I've had to deal and heal from things that happened to me in my life, my son and my daughter will have the same things. But I hope that I can lessen the pain and I can broaden the questions and the answers and the curiosity and the knowledge and the skills and the adventures for them that help them deal with those hard moments. Because yes, they'll have them. But just because they'll have them doesn't mean that the way for me to protect them is by insulating them. It's not. It is not. So I don't insulate my kids. And I don't insulate my message to you guys. I don't sugarcoat this. I don't tell you these things to trigger you. I do this because I freaking pray. I hope. I wish. I implore you to listen. I pray that you will take this and you will do something with it because it's not just that it worked for me. It's just that you getting to know yourself in whichever way you want to, journaling, therapy, trying something new, joining a program, whatever program it is. I do hypnotherapy every week. Leaving a job, leaving a relationship, changing your friend group, changing who you are, finding out who you are, finding out who you want to be. That's the most beautiful gift that you can give yourself. You give and you give and you give to everybody around you, and then you end up resenting them because they don't give back. They never asked you to give and give and give. And if they did, it's because you made yourself so available that it was second nature to you and to them. They don't have to feel like they have to show up for themselves because guess what? You will. But what happens at the end of the month, at the end of the year, when you are an empty and you look around and you wonder why no one is there to fill your tank because you emptied your tank? They didn't do it. You gave. They don't know how much you have. You gave. So before you start over volunteering and trying to solve everyone's problems and trying to fill your life by taking care of everybody else, ask yourself, are you taking care of yourself? Because if the answer is no, you going out into the world and being that tugboat that goes out into the storm, trying to bring everybody back as you're raging through the waves and the storm is thundering and you're taking on water and you think that that's heroic, and you get that other ship back to sea into the port. But now you have taken on water. Now you are in worse shape. Now you have damaged your safety. And now you have to go back out because that's the way that you believe life is. Sacrificing yourself for others, going out into the storm, raging through the waves, being tough. And as you get out into that lake, that ocean, that body of water, and you take on more water and you find someone else to save because now, yay, you have purpose again. You look to the coast and you see this tall, majestic lighthouse with an oscillating light, just showing everybody the direction to safety. Be the lighthouse. Be willing to stand strong for what you believe in and be willing to allow people to see your light and guide them in instead of you feeling like you have to go out and rage into the storm because you believe that that is brave, because you believe that you thrive in chaos, because you believe that the simple things in life, the peace, the consistency, you believe that that's boring. It's only boring because you have only tasted a little bit of what it means, but you've never really had it. You've never really had it. And who says you can't? So if you want more from life, do the work. Be willing to find out who you are. Be willing to ask yourself, what does it mean for you to feel safe and comfortable and strong all at once in your body? And something that I use, the screensaver of my phone is pictures of my kids, and it rotates. It's pictures of my kids because I want them to remember that I always remember them. And I don't do what I do for them. I'm not here to only take care of them. I'm here to take care of me so that I can be around for a long time and I can be that generational change for the lineage of my family so that my son and my daughter believe that so much more is capable than what I can even imagine is capable. And I have a big imagination. So that's it. I wanted to share this. I want you to give yourself permission to be free, to be in love with who you are, to attract the right partner one day. To really look forward to waking up every day and finding something new to challenge you. Do me a favor, if this episode spoke to you, send it to somebody that you think might need to hear this. Thank you. Thank you for your time.